Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rennae Stubbs Tennis Podcast. Before Hannah got on, I said, don't say anything because I want to keep everything for the listeners. Tennis people, tennis fans, I have Hannah Berner back on the show today because, and some of you might be thinking, who's Hannah Berner? Well, if you don't know who Hannah Berner is, get out from under your rock because Hannah is everywhere. May I just say, I like doing this before you get on. We Ride at Dawn on Netflix. If you still haven't seen that, get on it. Of course, one of the two funniest people on Giggly Squad. Of course, I give Paige all the love on that one. You just finished a None of Your Business tour, which you were on the road. Every time I talked to you, I was like, where the fuck are you now? You're in some godforsaken city all over the place. You've been killing it, Hannah. And on June 5th, and I'm going to make sure we say this at the end, June 5th, you've got another special. Journalist. Man, got another special coming out on Hulu. You are just everywhere. But more importantly, you love tennis, ladies and gentlemen. Hannah Berner, who watches more tennis than me.
It is, I'm so grateful to be on to talk my favorite thing with my favorite person and an icon, a legend, the RS, rennae. RS doesn't hit as well as I thought it would, but anyway.
No, it doesn't. No, RPS. No. You can throw my middle name in there. Patricia. RPS. What's your middle name?
Lucy.
I mean, you were made to be a comedian, obviously, right?
Don't think of me differently.
Well, mine's Lucy. Patricia.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything about that.
Hannah Lucy.
That's move forward.
That's cute. That's cute.
You should have seen me preparing for this pod. I literally was like,
yeah, tell me.
Well, I always have it on. I always have a tennis channel on, but I was like, because sometimes I'm watching too many of the girls' matches. I'm like, what are the boys doing?
Well, if you listen to my podcast, Caitlin and I usually go, want, let's talk about the guys. Wait, no, Sinner, who cares? Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
But can you tell me what happened with Zverev this morning? Because you were texting me and I was out and about, and a love set for a man is crazy.
Well, it's crazy. Hannah, you actually texted me and you said, is he tanking? And actually, scary? No, he was not tanking the third. He was definitely not tanking. This is how I describe him. We have a particular name for him that I will not say on this pod, but we do use it on a friendship basis with, several of us, including Caitlin and Petco. And I find him to be such a baby, right? So he had match points in the second set. He's playing against this Italian. I've played in Italy. I've played in Rome. It's a fucking nightmare to play against anyone Italian. It's a nightmare to play anyone who's French in Paris.
I feel like you're a gladiator with a tiger attacking you.
Yeah, but he's such a pussy on the biggest points. And may I just say, I did write down a couple of things because instead of going for winners, he's such a wuss. He had a passing shot on match point in the tiebreak, and he just had to rip it down the line. Instead, he went for, what did he go for? He went for the safe one, which he went cross court, and then the guy hit a volley winner. And he double faulted on set point, to give the set away. And then he just missed in the third, and the guy was hanging in. It was 2-love to Darderi, and he was 40-love on his serve, Zverev. And he loses a game with double faults, mistakes on the forehand, and then just gives the game away. And that was the match. It's just ridiculous.
And I don't even want to bash him. However, he likes to talk about how he's of the second echelon after Sinner, that he's with Alcaraz. And one thing about Alcaraz, that boy goes for it. He's hitting the big shots. He has the weapons. If he's going to lose, he's going to lose it. Whereas Zverev gets defensive when he gets tight, and you can't be number one with that kind of defensive mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And not only can you not be number one, but you cannot win a major, because to beat someone like Sinner and Alcaraz, he's lucky that Alcaraz is out for the French, so he has one less guy. But it's he's never going to beat Sinner, because Sinner, on a big point, is going to go for it. And he's going to play, not only is he going to play the percentages, but he's going to hit the shit out of the ball. He's not going to, the forehand goes off, the double faults, come into play. He just.
A question for you. Yeah, would you rather get to a Grand Slam singles final and have match point and fold like a cheap beach chair? Or would you rather never make it to a singles final, but never have that nightmare when you go to sleep at night?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I would go with getting there and knowing that I wussed out, but I know that there's a potential that I could have won one. Whereas never getting to one, that would just mean I wasn't very good. You know what I mean?
I would say the
What about
same
you?
because I agree with you
Because there are drugs to put you asleep, Hannah. There are drugs.
Yeah, I also think it makes you more interesting when you've messed up. And but I think Zverev, it's very interesting how that match still is tattooed in my head. If I haven't gotten over it, I don't know how he feels. But that's sport, and some of your worst losses can make you either like excel or lose confidence. But he's teetering. He's still there. Like he still can break through if all three of the guys ahead of him tore their ACLs.
All over and yeah, exactly. He has a chance if Sinner does his Achilles before the French Open, he has a chance. But see, this is what bothered me and Caitlin last week is that he's putting himself, as he already said, about in the same echelon as Alcaraz, who's won what?
It's disrespectful.
6 majors or something already at like
also,
21?
Alcaraz just started playing pro and he's the greatest of all time in these numbers. So yeah, exactly. I'm a big Alcaraz fan. So that's when I was like, okay, let's get a little humble.
Yeah. I mean, I would have said, look, if he'd said Sinner and Alcaraz are so far ahead of us and I got to work to get better at these. I mean, I would say to him, I think his biggest problem is that he has his family as his coach. He doesn't have someone who's going to say, either you step up here or I'm out of here. Because I don't know what the father's telling him, but he chickens out all the time. And, technically he's not good on the forehand and technically has that like little hitch on the serve. So at some point, as you know, Hannah, when you're bad technically, it's all downhill.
Are we pointing fingers now?
No, I wanted to know if there was a match that clearly hasn't left your brain because, yeah. What's the worst one for you? What's the worst one?
Oh, God. Well, you know what? One of the worst ones, sometimes it's more the feeling. I had a match. Oh, this was dark. But
okay.
College tennis was so crazy. And it was every week. And you're just like, you don't even know where you are, what's going on. And you're just fighting for your life. You're waking up at 6 a.m. every morning. And I definitely have bad ADHD. And that didn't help. But I'm not making excuses.
Hence the comedy.
I showed up and I'm playing Northwestern and I win the first set 6-3. I'm up 6-3, 3-2 and I'm playing well. Everything's good.
Let me help you out here. I'm going to break out a Badger hat for you.
Go Badgers, go Badgers, go Badgers.
For those of you who can't see, because this is a podcast, I just put on a Badger hat.
Where did you even get that?
My neighbor. I told you, my neighbors are
Perfect.
Badgers. You went to school at the same time together.
They're everywhere.
They just had a baby. Come on, Hannah. Hurry up.
So this is so college tennis story. I break my string. I go back to get a racket. I realize all the rackets in my bag are broken strings. So I grabbed broken string rackets. Clearly, like I'm not on top of it. I'm not organized. And that's how my brain was. So then I have to borrow someone
else's. That's a nightmare. That's actually a nightmare.
Racket. And I'm always teetering with the anxiety. So like now I have I was played with a Wilson like heavy racket. I'm double faulting and I just have like a full mental breakdown. I just was like, the universe hates me, when it's like, okay, like you're clearly unorganized and this is a result, but like this is Division I. I was playing, I think, number 2. Like this is not a time to like try out someone else's racket. And my coach was so mad at me. And I just remember getting in the van and all the girls are in the van and I cried the entire time, like a loud cry, like a heaving cry, and just like, and everyone was just quiet while I was crying. Because it's like, not only did I lose, but like I should have won, and it's my fault. Like I'm doubly dumb. Like I double faulted, and it's because I forgot my racket. I've forgotten shoes a lot. I always forget my shoes. I show up.
I think every tennis player has done that. I mean, Coco did it recently, right? She went on the court and did her shoes. I've done that. There's
a lot of stuff you have to carry around.
And
then I would always show up in the wrong outfit. Like I still have nightmares of, I was supposed to wear the red shorts and the white shirt, and I showed up with a red shirt and a white short. This is what keeps me up at night.
ADHD at its best. I actually one time enough that you said that I played a final in I wish it was Madrid, in Mildura, Australia. It was a grass court title. It was a 25,000K tournament. I'm in the final and I'm playing and my string breaks. And this is like before, you'd have like 5 rackets in your bag, like strung sort of perfectly and blah, blah,
True.
blah. And as a professional does, not like you at college and me at a 25. And
in college, they string all your rackets for free. Like there was no excuse.
There is no I had to pay for mine. So it was like more expensive. But so I go on the court, I break my string. I didn't even know what the score was. I think I'd won the first set. I'm like looking good. I'm playing on grass. It's my thing. And my string breaks. And I'm like, oh shit. So I go to my bag and I pull out the next racket. And when I tell you, Hannah, it was like my racket was strung at 60 pounds and then it went to 42. But I don't know what happened, but the stringing that I pulled out was literally 10 to 15 pounds
like
looser.
A trampoline. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a trampoline. I was like, holy shit, I can't hit anything. So I had to it was perfect for me because I could chip and charge and come into the net and hit volleys. But I mean, the abuse that I gave myself during the match as this was going on, like, you fucking are so unprofessional. I can't believe you're doing this to yourself and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I ended up winning the match, which is a miracle. But it happens to us all.
You're like, I did win though, because I'm a professional.
I did win.
Match once where my coach got me these Dunlop rackets in college and they seemed like kind of janky. And while I was playing with it, the handle fell off of one and I got really pissed because there was something in it. Like, I don't know where he got these rackets,
dodgy.
But it was dodgy and the handle falls off and I like lose the point and I took the racket and I threw it in the trash can.
Well, that's obviously where it deserved to be.
And he defaulted me. And my parents had came to visit. Yeah, that's a dark one.
That's a dark one.
I have stories.
A lot of dark.
You
have a lot of dark. I love this. All right. So listen.
But never boring. Never
boring. Well, that's obviously another reason why you went into what you're doing. So I want to talk about clearly Sinner is just annihilating. And let me just say to everyone who's listening, Hannah legit watches more tennis than me. Every time I call her or every time she posts something, there's a shot in the background of the Tennis Channel on. And it's unbelievable how much you still love this sport, because ideally you went into comedy and you went into you're killing it, right? But you wanted to be a professional tennis player and you literally played with the Jessica Pagulas in juniors and you played all these types. You played with Jess. So it's awesome that I actually, when I do text you to do this, because you're so friggin' busy, you're like, yeah, I'll do it, because I know how much you jones about tennis. And so I want to know your thoughts about, Sinner, he's going to win the French. Like, I actually predicted that before Alcaraz pulled out. He's playing so well. He won his, I wrote it down somewhere, 31 wins or something. He's on a 35 win streak. It's unbelievable. Tell me, I know that you love Alcaraz, but as a tennis person and somebody who watches so much tennis, what do you love about what do you think he's improved over the last 12 months?
Sinner?
Yeah.
Well, also I do love Sinner, especially as a half Italian. I love the representation. Right. He is mentally incredible. He has that kind of aura about him and calmness where even when he loses points, it doesn't affect him. And he just seems like he has a game plan and no one's going to shake him. Where there's some other players where, when they're on, they're so good. But once they fall off, they're not, where he just doesn't have that kind of dip. He doesn't have that dip. Like, the dip is, and it's funny, I saw him play Zverev in, I think, like the 2020 US Open, and Zverev won in 2 sets. And it's just so funny.
Straight sets, yep.
Yep. I remember thinking, like, he's solid, but I guess it wasn't enough. But yeah, mentally, he's on another level. And to move at the level that he has, and to have the forehand and the backhand so equal, where I feel like men's tennis, sometimes there's a big divide. There's no hole.
Yeah, there's no hole.
You can't be like, well, move him. Well, his serve is weak. Well, hit it to his backhand. No.
Yeah, you're so right. And I think that's what makes greats like Novak and Rafa, Roger, is that, Roger had to improve his backhand, Toppy, to even play with Rafa. And that's, that improved through the years. I mean, his topspin backhand became a lethal weapon. But the thing with Sinner, I think that what he's improved is, yes, the mental side of it. I think he's gotten so much better in that, like getting stronger and stronger. And actually, I think it's more along the lines of, I just don't think he believed in himself because he's not a super cocky guy, right?
No.
And I think you have to almost build him up to be like, no, you're actually that guy. You're actually that guy. And he's starting to actually believe that he's that guy
dangerous.
now. Which is
Sinner
dangerous.
Knows, then
yeah.
Yeah, because I think he might have had a little imposter syndrome. It's crazy to one day be beating Djokovic and beating Alcaraz and then putting yourself on your own island right now. But he's in his hometown right now. I mean, he's in his home country. He's loving it. I mean, the most pressure is when you're in your home country, I feel like.
Totally.
Well, the way he's handling it is incredible and mature and calm. Yeah. So he's dangerous.
And I think that Darren Cahill has helped him so much with his progression into the net, his ability to be able to play that mid-court stuff, to hit the volleys and the little drop shot off the forehand. Now he's improved that implementation of what Alcaraz does, where he has the power. How do I win the point? Well, you hit a little drop shot or you come into the net. So you're right, Hannah. He legit doesn't have any weakness, like literally nothing. So
I don't understand what it takes to, in all of professional tennis, be so above and beyond the rest. Like, it's so difficult to go pro, and then to think that you're winning every single professional match where no one else can. It is hard for you to even emotionally handle that if that's you. So whatever zone he is in and whatever team is around him is keeping him in a beautiful place. Because we see a lot where people win something and then immediately it hits them, oh my God, I'm supposed to win. And then they start losing. But he feels like he's very comfortable being number one, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, I think he's very comfortable with playing excellent tennis. And I think that every day is his mantra. Just play excellent tennis. You play excellent tennis, you'll win these matches. And I think the only one, as we know, that can even remotely push him in the big matches is, of course, Carlos Alcaraz, who sadly isn't playing right now. Hopefully that wrist is... Did you ever have a wrist injury when you were playing? Because I did.
But I heard wrist injuries are bad.
The worst. I had it for 9 months. It was like, it came at the worst time for me. I was like at my highest singles ranking. I think I was like 60 in the world and I was going up. And then I hurt my wrist for 8 months. And I came back really quickly in doubles because it was just so naturally for me to come back and be good in doubles. I think I may have even won the first tournament I played when I came back. But for me, like getting back into the singles swing of things was really hard. The wrist is, for me, the worst injury you can have in tennis. Because if you can't hit the ball, you're fucked.
How did you hurt your wrist?
Mine was, I'm not sure what happened. I think it was after the season was done and I started to try and play again. I had this little, a little tendon and joint called the triquetrum joint in the wrist. And it was like when I would go to hit my forehand, I couldn't drop my wrist down. And then when I went to hit the ball, it was so painful. I could do every other shot. I could serve, I could volley, I couldn't hit a forehand. I mean, I couldn't really hit a forehand anymore. But
I was like, I wish I had that excuse.
yeah. Well, that was my excuse. But yeah, it was awful. And then I just had a physio at Wimbledon randomly. I just got the right person who found what the problem was. And I played like 2 weeks later. Yeah. So I lost about 8 months of my career. So that sucks for me. But woe is me. Wah, wah. If I had like little machines to like, wah, wah, wah. That's what it is on there. But like, look, let's not even talk about the guys anymore. I want to talk about last week. Caitlin and I talked about Madrid was like the Hunger Games for women. It was like upset after upset after upset after upset.
See,
and
it
sort of happened.
Upsets.
So do I. So do I. And I feel like we're having a little bit of that again this week in Rome. Sabalenka, what's happening? Because, a lot of people are like, she's the favorite for the French. She's not my favorite for the French Open now. The question is, who is?
The match with Cristea, she was up 6-2, 3-2, I think.
I think she was up a set in 5-3, actually.
Or 5-3. So she was in control.
Or maybe 4-2. I'm not sure. I can't. My memory can't go back that far.
When she
gets
in
control,
in her erratic mode, where like every shot seems like, why are you going for that? But I also have to say, shout out to Cristea. She's having the Danielle Collins moment where she's announced she's done, and that's when suddenly all the pressure leaves you, and she's playing so free. So I don't think anyone wants to run into her in the draw.
And she's so good. Like, she's always been that player that hits the ball so well. She moves, like, for her age at 36, she moves so well. I mean, she's quick around the court. She's so fit. I don't know. I think she's retiring because I think she wants to have children. I mean, honestly, this is why I always tell girls, get those eggs out when you're like 22, girl.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't have to worry about this, because then at 38, maybe she can play one more year and she can have some 24-year-old eggs instead of 38-year-old ones. You know what I'm saying?
Not to get into it, but is the WTA paying for any egg freezing?
I think so, actually. I should know that. But I think they are. And I think that they're allowing also then when you come back, like they're freezing your eggs. They're freezing your ranking. Like there's a lot of things that are going on. They're really trying to help out. But yes, there is a program.
Freeze my wrist, freeze my brain.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been great to see her. She had a great win, relatively easy over Ostapenko today, which is always interesting. Yes. What are your thoughts on Ostapenko?
Ostapenko loves the clay. Ostapenko loves the clay. I think she's a great personality for tennis.
Don't you think it's funny, though, when now she doesn't have any umpires or any linesmen to yell at and look at?
Yeah. Well, she still definitely keeps the attitude, which is important for her. And you can't look away. But it's never her fault. She's never made a mistake.
No, I know, because I was coaching a player that played with her in doubles last year, and the absolute Russian night, like they were speaking, she was speaking Russian. I mean, she's not Russian, but speaking of that language to her coaches and stuff. And one of my players' friends was Russian. And I said, what did she say? And she said, you don't want to know. And I said, no, I want to know. She goes, well, let's put it this way. There's not a lot of positivity going on the other side of the net for her partner. And I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, she's blaming her for everything. I'm like, did she not just see the 3 volleys she missed on top of the net? Like, she is so unaware of what she doesn't do on the tennis court sometimes. It makes me, it's just, the delusion is unbelievable. But it's also what made her win your French Open.
Wins you a Grand Slam. It's also, people make fun of like Medvedev's technique, but if you look at her technique, it's crazy. It's like this chicken wing forehand. It's jerky. The footwork's not there, but her hands are incredible, and she hits it so flat and gets all her body weight into it. So you always,
you don't know where it's going. She's one player. She's literally one player that I've coached against, and I go, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know where the ball's going half the time, which is a rarity because I'm usually pretty good at picking people's tendencies. But anyway, so Sabalenka is not looking great, and also having a bit of a back issue, apparently. So that is not good going into a major and not having the success that she would have wanted to have on grass and then on clay, and then also going on grass. If you got a back problem, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. No offense, because playing on grass is the worst on your butt and your back.
It's funny, you're competing against the rest of the field, but you're also competing against your own body, and it's a double whammy. But in terms of like who I think is the favorite, it's hard. I mean, you gotta always keep an eye out for Rybakina.
Yep, agreed.
And I also think Iga was looking good.
Yeah,
as of recent.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that look, she looked real good yesterday against Osaka. And I think that, there's a possibility that if she can win this tournament in Rome, which she's done so many times, I mean, she won a final 6-love, which is insane. If she can get that sort of feeling back again and win Rome, I think she goes into the French, believe it or not having the success that anyone's expected or she's had in the past. I think she still goes in with a bit of an edge of winning the French because she's done it so many times, and you have to tip the scales
on her. She doesn't have all the attention, so that does help. My question to you about Coco, because we have to get to Coco.
Yeah.
How can she emotionally survive?
I don't know.
To win every match 6-4
in 3 sets.
Third.
I don't know. Because, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Honestly, Hannah, like we've talked about it over the last few weeks, the thing that it's sort of getting, it's upsetting me the most about watching her, and I adore her. Like I love her as a human being. I think she's an incredible ambassador for the sport. She does all the right things. She says all the right things. She supports all the right causes. She's getting really pissy pants on the court a lot. Like I feel like she lost the match in the previous week when she was up, I believe 4-1 in the third, and we talked about it on the podcast last week, and she's whinging at her player's box. And I'm like, your opponent is literally ready to walk off the court. She's
Yeah.
done. It was Noskova. Noskova was ready to go. She was done. She was like, all right, get me out of here, especially with her type of attitude, But she's also somebody, if you let back in a little bit, she can actually hit you off the court, which is exactly
Yes.
what happened. So I'm like,
Yes.
why would you show any negative emotion? Even if you feel like shit, don't show it.
Now, I identify with Coco for the only reason why is because my weaknesses and my tightness would come out in my forehand and my second serve. So I like watching her because I feel like I know that those
PTSD.
demons. Yeah, and I like watching her fight through it because it makes me feel like a kindred spirit. But as someone who's experienced this at a much lower level, I've had points where I'll win a bunch of matches brutally, just through my teeth, and then eventually you're like, I can't win ugly anymore. Like don't have anything left. I can't do this. It's frustrating, and I think she's coming for her box because she's not competing against the girl across from her. She's competing against herself, and she knows that each day she's battling a lot of these performance demons,
Yeah.
and the
it's performance demons, but I mean, you tell me, because
yeah.
you're saying
Or
about your
is it technique?
That's exactly right. I think technique, and when she's nervous, is then overtaking what she wants to do mentally. I guarantee you mentally, she's saying, okay, you can do this. Hit it this way. Go, finish the forehand. Go for the serve. I think she's telling herself all that. And then all of a sudden, as you go to do it, and you know this because you played, and just like I do, when you know your technique's not good and you get a little bit nervous, it's what breaks down. And you can't help it. Because when you're nervous, or if your technique is not right, I don't care who you are. I don't care how mentally strong you are. And she is incredibly mentally strong.
But she's
you can't
so
take
mentally
it.
strong. She's beating girls like with her second serve and her forehand awry. That's how mentally strong she is. But while other girls are flying through matches, she's having to play these like 4-hour chess matches to beat girls in the top 50. And her long-term career, I want her to be happy. I want her to have some easy wins. I want her to just hit some people off the court like Iga.
I don't think she can. That's the problem. Her forehand, she cannot hit people off the court. She can't.
But it's funny because when she hits it really right, it's really good. And when she hits it really bad, it's so bad. There's too much of a range of what the forehand can be. And look, I relate to it. That's how I play too. But I just wonder for her longevity, because I know she wants to be the greatest of all time, you have to have some 6-2, 6-2 wins.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be the greatest of all time, you got to be like Serena and beat Maria Sharapova in the finals of the Olympics, like one and love. Like you got to be Steffi Graf and beat Natasha Zvereva in the finals of the French Open 6-love in 30 minutes. Like, if you want to be the greatest, you've got to crush people like that and on a consistent basis.
She could pull it out against anyone, but
so do I.
She does probably have an insane 3-set record, but again, your body, your mind can only go so far, especially when you're making it to the finals and you've been out there for so long.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how I said that. I don't know when I said it, but I did say it on the pod a little while ago. It's like, mentally, like, how much can you keep putting yourself through this where you need to take like a break? And that's why I wanted her to take the break after the US Open last year and really work on those technical flaws and then she went and won Wuhan or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, what are you talking about? I was like, well, because it's for the long range goal. Yes. It's not about winning Wuhan. Who gives a fuck? Nobody even remembers Wuhan.
She wants to win a dozen Grand Slams. Like, that's where she wants to be. And I think she knows she's frustrated when she's in a third set, even if she's winning. Like, I shouldn't be in this third set if I want to be the greatest. How did I get here again? But when I would play, I would be tight in the beginning, and whenever I'd play a good player, I'd always lose the first set, to the point that it didn't even affect me. I was like, assume you're going to lose the first set. Okay, now let's start. So I had a lot of those, 2-6, 6-3, 6-3, love 6, 6-2, 6-2. That was just how I played as well. But it's really hard. Like, you want to mentally win.
And physically, and honestly, like right now she's young, right?
Yes.
So right now she's going to get away with this and she's going to bounce back. But when she gets to 28, 29, 30, 31, if she's playing that long, those matches start to take their toll on your body, right? And 100%. As fit and fast and as great an athlete as she is, and as she's young, And the more miles she puts on her body on the tennis court under pressure, because stress affects your body differently.
Ooh, yep.
When she gets to 30, the knees will start getting a bit sorer. The hip starts to get a little bit tighter. The shoulder starts to have to work a little bit too much. So those are also things that she needs to really think about going forward. And yeah, I mean, listen, for me, I've pointed out a few things technically that I mean, there's one thing, I don't know if you ever notice this when she's serving, if you watch where her hand is on her grip. So it goes like I have my remote control. So she has her finger like up her grip. You can't see it in the pod, but she has her finger up her grip like she's like pointing on the grip. And I'm like, get that thing down so you get a little bit more wrist action. There's little technical things. So, I mean, I know she's working with Gavin McMillan. Love the guy. He's a great guy. He's obviously done terrific things for Sabalenka serve, but that's the one little thing that I wish that she would change on her serve. And you listen, injuries get to everybody. So hopefully that's not the case. Something that happened to Amanda Anisimova, she's had to pull out. What a great year that she had last year, and she's struggling this year. Physically, the wrist, you know,
and mentally, now that she's a favorite, it's a different situation on the court. I do have to say, shout out to our friend Chelsea Handler, who she did amazing on the roast, and I was in LA and went to her show.
I know, I missed you. I was in LA because I was on a movie set.
She's a star. You were busy on set.
Let's just put it this way. It's gonna come out eventually, but I'm already out, so this is not a surprise to anybody. But my first scene in this movie is going to be Euro cheek kissing Charlize Theron.
Shut up.
Stand back, everybody. Stand back.
Shut up.
I swear to God. We will discuss this off camera.
I was talking about this in my podcast how Charlize Theron is the last real movie star. She is so iconic, so gorgeous. Like, she glows. They don't make them like her anymore.
Is the hottest human being I've ever seen.
Literally. Oh my God.
And she was so fucking nice and so cool and drops more F-bombs than me. And that, my friends, makes me love her. She drops an F-bomb every South Africa. She's from South Africa. Yeah. But she has a very American accent when she speaks English. But mate, she drops the F-bomb more than me. And that just makes me think, you're cool.
She's a real one.
She's a Leo. I'm an Aries. We got along. I know, you're jealous. Yeah.
I am jealous, actually.
This is why we get along. Anyway, so I missed Chelsea's stand-up.
You missed Chelsea's stand-up. And Chelsea's, you know, she has amazing friends. And after the show, there was like a little get-together in the lobby. Actually, it got quite big. There was a lot of people. And I see this like very tall woman standing there. And I realized... Maria Sharapova. And you guys... I went to the Hall of Fame last year and I watched her through the whole thing, never bothered her. I'm not bothering her. And then we get to the place and I'm talking to all these random comics and singers that are there. And I freak out when I see Maria. And my friends don't understand. And they're like, just say hi to her if you like her. And I go, no, this is like, she raised me. She's everything. This, you know, in your head, I'm like, this isn't how we were supposed to meet. I'm not approaching her in a busy, loud party with Chelsea Handler. I'm like, I have to wait. And I'm like, Rennae would be so disappointed in me that I didn't get the balls. But like, I just didn't feel like it was the right time.
You didn't say hi?
I didn't. We even made eye contact a couple times because I think she knows of me. But I was like, I can't do this right now.
My God, I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip. You totally Zverev'd it. You Sasha'd it. You did a Sasha.
I just didn't want to, like, God forbid the interaction was awkward. Then I'm like, well, I've ruined.
All right. Well, I got to make that happen for you. I'm going to clip this one bit off and I'm going to send it to her. I'm going to text it to her and be like, this is what Hannah thinks of you.
She's having a peaceful night. And I was like, Jesus. I don't need it. When also, what am I gonna say? Like,
hey, Maria, love you. I was a big fan. Love your tennis. She'd be like, oh, Hannah, I love your stuff. And then all of a sudden, you're best friends. This is how it works. Let me teach you how to do this, Hannah. I'll teach you.
I'm actually so bad. I'm so bad.
Who would have thought you were so backwards in coming forwards, right? Now, speaking of,
I only get like this with athletes.
Yeah, it's true.
I only get like this with athletes. Literally the biggest movie star in the world, I'd be like, love your work. But when I met Roger Federer, I just cried in his face and then walked away.
Most people listening to this podcast can totally relate to you. They're like, oh my God, I would have done the same thing. I would say, yeah. As soon as you said this tall person, I was like, I knew who it was, Maria Sharapova. Speaking of goddesses or gods or legends, I want your thoughts on Novak Djokovic because, man, he's not playing at all. I said, go back to listen to my pods. I thought the Australian Open was going to be his last Grand Slam, but he's hung around, but he hasn't really played. So I want to know what his end game is. Clearly, he only gives a shit about playing the Grand Slams, but I don't care who you are. You have to play matches before a major and get wins under your belt before you think you can go dominate. Clearly, we saw what he did at the Australian Open, speaking of beating Sinner, in which nobody predicted that, which has also given, I think, Mr. Sinner a bit of a kick up the arse to get things going again this year. But what's going on with Novak? And I mean, losing to, a qualifier from his own country, like that's got to hurt. That's like, what's going on? What do you see?
Did he make any statements like he wanted to end at like Davis
No.
Cup or like Olympics or something?
No, but he did. Listen, I did an interview with him a couple of years ago at the US Open, and I remember asking him a specific question about playing at night and how do you get up for these matches and, time and time again, something along the lines
older. It's 11 p.m.
I kind of sort of said something along those lines, but obviously a little bit nicer. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I do it. But it wasn't those exact verbatim words, but the way he said it, the way he answered the question, I was like, oh, he's getting tired of this. It starts to weigh on you. And at 37, 38 years of age, 39, to win a major title over best of 5 sets against the Alcaraz and Sinners, well, he's lucky at the French because he doesn't have to go through Alcaraz, and maybe he does get that win over Yannick. But I don't know. It gets harder and harder, man, to keep coming back without matches under your belt. I mean, look at Serena when she tried to come back the last couple of years. I mean, you got to play matches. And then if you get matches, you can win because you're getting match fit again. So what's going on with Novak?
I do feel like we've been doubting him though every Grand Slam. Like we're like he's not gonna and he keeps making the semis, which is incredible. I do think the French, it's long points, it's a grind. He's gonna be physically pushed to the limit. I just want him to bow out
gracefully.
With respect. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Like who?
I think maybe US Open's going to be his last. Anyway, listen, Hannah, we're going to take a really quick break, and I'm going to ask you about this young Rafael, number 2, after we get back from the break. So hang on. Okay, so Hannah, what about Mr. Rafael, number 2, Hoda? He's still in the tournament in Rome. This is a young kid that's exciting. I saw his interview this morning. He speaks really good English. Like he's just a fun young guy. I mean, it's nice, right? We need these young guys to start winning matches because men's tennis has been boring right now.
Yeah, and you have to imagine some of these guys who like came up with Alcaraz are like, if he could get so big, like I can make a dent in professional tennis. And these young guys, you look at his body, he's not filled out. He's like literally growing out. He's so skinny. And I'm like, this guy has so much growth. So I love when these kind of new people come in and they have this kind of like delusion of like, they're not, been on the road for a while. They're just like, I love tennis and I'm playing well right now. So shout out to him. It's he'll be smoking a cigarette next year.
We'll see him in the back courts, like having a cigarette and like being like, "Oh man, this life is not for me."
But I love the new energy.
Yeah, me too. And it really is a fresh name. I mean, not a lot of people had heard of this kid before Madrid, and so the fact that he's reached 2 back-to-back, quarters of Masters 1000 is it's awesome. It's amazing to see someone get through. And, I had written down like, interestingly enough, and he's a UVA guy. He's a college guy. Yeah. So I think he was going there and then I don't know how much he played. And then he's, now he's pro and he's like, see ya. Fuck that college life. I do want to ask you about college tennis actually, because it's been coming up over the last couple of podcasts. Patrick McEnroe has been talking about it a lot. Give me your thoughts on that. Like the international players, how many were on the team for you with the international players? And what do you think about these college tennis programs getting shafted out?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like college tennis is finally getting respect at the pro level where everyone's seeing like
the benefits.
And when
especially the men.
Yes. And when you watch the top NCAA girls, you're like, this is extremely high level and it's a grind. But I also feel like the problem is we were never a revenue sport. And I remember when they started talking about athletes getting paid, not to age myself, 15 years ago, I remember thinking, yeah, but they'll never pay tennis the same because we're not selling out stadiums, even though we are working as hard and we are as good in our sport. And then there was a lot of issues with, if someone took prize money, they can't play. Is complicated. On my team, I think I was one of maybe four Americans, and there was like six people from all over Singapore, India, Russia. But I do think I know right now the team currently has only two Badgers. They only have I think two or three Americans.
Yeah, see, that's the
Yeah.
problem. I think that's where we really got to start looking at it, because I guess in the bottom line is, and Caitlin was saying, well, are you having college sports to make money, or are you having college sports to make students better people overall? Because sports,
Yeah.
as you know, Hannah, it's helped you so much in your life and in
Yep.
your work ethic, and your success now, doing what you do on TV and comedy and commercials and all the things you're doing. That was from your work ethic of being an athlete. So what is college athletics for? Is it to make someone a full person, or is it just to make money for the college?
Yes, that's such a valid point because especially you can't tell one athlete that they're so much more valuable than the other athlete, even though we're doing the same amount of hours, the same responsibilities. It's just, yeah, we don't play in a stadium and it's not that kind of sport. And I haven't thought this through, but I was thinking about like the USTA and how the
They could fill.
players in America, I know that especially during my time, they were obsessed with, like who's the next big pro, and they pick people at a young age to like really help throughout. I don't know if now they've like because
Yeah,
some people like look at Jessie Pagula, like at 16 she started popping off more. Like there's some, not everyone is a 9-year-old prodigy, and I think working more on developing Division 1 players maybe instead of just like maybe just more of a system of like let's get girls into
let's get
Division
them
1,
into Division
and then
One. Yeah,
who knows once they get there, instead of just thinking like does this girl look like she could win a grand slam in
yeah,
15 years when she's
yeah.
21, instead, because I feel like in Europe specifically there's such a better like lower tier below
Agreed.
pros
Yeah, club tennis.
club tennis, and that creates just like all these great Division 3, 2 and 1 players, where in America it feels very like either you're at the top or like you're kind of left for dead.
Yeah. No, no, that's really well said. I mean, in Australia, we don't have any of that. So you guys are lucky in this country to do that. For Australians, for example, we got to travel overseas. It's brutal for us to
Which
get the
is
competition that we need.
insane.
Or a lot of Australians do come maybe and play college tennis. But I think that's a really good thought. I think that's a thing that USTA should think about. How can we cipher these kids through our college systems to A, give them an
Yes.
education, but B, it's great practice. You have physios, you have trainers, you're like working. I mean, I think about Lisa Raymond, my old doubles partner. I talk about her all the time, who was the top junior in the country in her age. And she wasn't mentally or physically, she was never really mentally ready, but she, that was a joke. But she decided to go to Florida for 2 years, and she dominated in college. She won 2 NCAAs. The team won the title for the first time. And then 2 years later, she was like, okay, I'm going to go pro. But she'd already played some slams already and gotten that experience and had done really well. So it's
Yeah.
like, why not cipher them through rather than put in a junior program all the time? Really think, no, this is actually a stepping stone. And this school is really good.
Yes.
And this school has great coaches. And then
Yes.
because I think about the Czech Republic, how many women do you know in the top 100 of the Czech Republic? I mean, they just cipher them through every 5 years. It's like unbelievable. There's a new one here.
Incredible.
It's
Perfect
because
technique, heaviest ball.
they play club tennis against each other all the fucking time. They play each
Hmm.
other all the time. So they're playing their
Yeah.
best players in the world against each other every single week when they're not playing on the tour. So it's crazy to me that we're not figuring out a way to filter our young juniors into a system where they're playing against each other and making each other better on a daily basis. What's really funny, I don't know if you saw this story. This guy's name's Joaquim Almeida. He won the
Mm.
Marty Fish Invitational. It was a 15,000. He was 28th on the qualifying acceptance list. Okay. I think he played college tennis. And then he's hanging around. It's kind of like a scene from Challenges, where he's sleeping in the
Yep.
car hoping you get into the tournament. He gets into qualifying of a 15,000. He's not even ranked. He gets in, he gets through qualifying. He beat JJ Wolf in the tournament and he wins the tournament. I mean, for me, of all the stories of last week, that to
This
me
happened
is
last week.
this literally happened like yesterday or the day before. This kid from Brazil, one of 15,000, getting through qualifying. He's not even ranked. Those are the stories that I want to see. That's the real challenger story. He's probably having an affair with somebody as well. But that was fun. So you should look it up. I'll send you the video. It's kind of fun. So I wanted to give that guy a shout out on the pod because that was an awesome, awesome story. Amazing. All right, I'm going to get to a couple of questions. There's only one or two that I ask. We always ask at the end of the pod. Our lovely listeners write in, and I asked them questions. And then someone said, "Can you comment on Anisimova's wrist injury? I heard of all the comments on Carlos. Also, how does a player show up for a tournament with injury and practice and pull out just before they go on the court?"
Ooh. As in mentally, like how that works?
I think it's physically. They're probably like, why would you try and play if you think you're injured?
Well, I think it's because you hope that morning your body woke up and was like, oh, we're good enough. Like
we're
it's
good
an
enough.
Optimism, I feel like. That because you never know when it gets better, and you're like, it could be tomorrow morning that I suddenly start feeling anew.
Yeah. And you also think maybe if I get through this one match, it'll feel better tomorrow. Maybe I just need some matches. And, she's panicking a little bit right now because she hasn't played for a while and she's going into the first, second major of the year without any matches. So I think that's why they try and go on the court. They probably feel 85% in practice. Then they think I can get through this match maybe in a match at 85%, and they get out there and they're not playing as well, or it's hurting them a little bit more and they pull the plug. I think if it was, 5 weeks before the French Open, she would have not played. So I think that's why. All right, you sort of answered it.
There's so much pressure. Yeah, there's so much pressure on you to win and make money that it's like, even if it is horrible, you try to trick your mind to be like, no, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. You'll be fine. Just get over it. Put it in a cast after the game. All right, so our loyal listener, Phil Nguyen, he says, is Iga back from her matches in Rome, killing it on her last 2 matches? Well, far as Hannah Berner is concerned, yes, she is.
Always believe in Iga, because once you show the kind of greatness she's shown, it doesn't disappear. And I think it's hard to keep up the dominance, but I feel like it's there. It's always right there. And I think she's always capable of beating everyone.
Yeah, especially on clay. I think this is this will be, and I've always said this prior to going into the French Open, the people that win Rome, for me, are always the favorites. Madrid is an outlier. It's at altitude. It is fast. It supports big servers, big hitters of the ball, people that hit the ball flat. It's not usually an indicator. I mean, because I think Rafael Nadal won Madrid maybe once or twice. Hello. He won every other. He won Rome and Monte Carlo.
It's a hard court with some sand on it.
It's at altitude. So good luck. Altitude. I mean, serve and volley should be winning. That's why Roger won Madrid more than Rafa, I think. So yeah. Okay, from Jeff Bernstein. This is a good question for you, Hannah. I have a question for you, Rennae, and Hannah. I'm going to add. How can the NCAA charge $22 for general admission to tennis championships and expect a good crowd and grow the sport? $85 for the 4-day pass, a savings of $3. Well, first of all, that's ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? It should be 3 days for $60 or something like that, but 4 days for $60. But I didn't even know they charged. What the fuck?
I didn't know they charged. It's almost, that seems crazy. Also, they're making money off of it being on TV, right? Like, are they making that much money by charging $80 to people who love tennis? I don't know. I don't think that's worth it. I feel like take money from the football team if you need money.
Exactly. Because how many are on that team?
I think it should be open admission, and get the money from other sports that are already profiting too much.
Right, we're sending that into the NCAA's, and
we're causing drama today.
We're causing drama. I want you to bring that up on Giggly. As the deans of college tennis, we say, wah, wah. Well, usually Caitlin and I are ripping on the WTA, ATP, USTA, Tennis Australia, whoever it is. But today we're going to rip on NCAA, which we have done in the past because we like to do those.
I don't know the rules anymore. Now they just play first to 5 points wins. I don't even know the rules anymore. They've changed a lot. We used to play old school tennis, deuces and everything.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Now they're trying to shorten everything up. But I will say, if you do love tennis, and this is what Caitlin said, go and watch college tennis. It is so fun.
Incredible.
And it's fun and it's aggressive and everyone's yelling at each other and the teams are on it. It's a lot of fun. I did like some volunteer coaching down at USF for a year or two, and I loved going out and watching the matches.
Oh the girls get pumped up, and you'll find yourself watching like the 6th court and getting so into this match because everyone is like fair. It's fun watching two people who are at the same level fight it out.
They're literally fighting for their last breath.
And each other.
and each other, exactly. Well, okay, so last question for you, Hannah. Give me your, who do you think's going to win the French Open, men's and women's?
Oh, wait, quick shout out.
Okay.
Shout out to Haley Baptiste.
Yeah, we got to give Haley. Unfortunately, she lost in Rome, but I think she's learned. And your buddy Jess Pegula is still in Rome.
And Jess, who's quietly, with her flat strokes, just getting through the clay. I'm going to say Iga. I'm going to be so boring and say Iga and Sinner.
Yeah, I don't think I'll disagree with you. I think that could be the case again. I think if Iga wins Rome, she's my favorite to win in Paris for sure. So I'll give you a break. I'll wait till after Rome at least to you can text it to me and I'll let the world know that you actually changed your mind if you did. But I don't think you're going to change your mind.
Okay. I'll stick with it.
You stick with it. All right. So Hannah, you got June 5th, right? June 5th on Hulu.
June 5th, my new special on Hulu. Everyone watch it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so freaking proud of you. We met years ago. You came on my old Amazon show and we bonded. You're the reason I know Jen Welsh from I've Had It podcast. I've been on their podcast. And if you don't listen to their podcast, you're missing out. Jen and Pumps are the funniest two people talking politics now.
And we love tennis.
And we love tennis. Well, sadly, Jen, likes pickleball as well. So that's fucked.
We don't talk about that.
I got to get you playing a little paddle, Hannah.
Yes, I'm into paddle. I'm just not great off the wall yet.
That's all right. Neither am I.
I'm not great off the wall because there's like science to it. There's like physics. Like you have to know where to stand. It doesn't matter how fast you are. But everything else I like a lot.
I love it too.
Lob.
I love it too.
A little lob.
Yeah. You got to be really strategic. I really like it. But anyway.
Yep.
Poach. Let's play. Let's play. We can play out in Long Island City anytime you want. But anyway, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining us this week. Thanks to my very special guest, Hannah BERNER, who's very, very busy right now. So I appreciate it. Although she was playing fucking tennis this morning, so I don't want to hear it. So she plays more tennis than I do. When are we playing again? I need to get out to Long Island to play with you.
Yes.
I'll do that very soon. Anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you and hear you all next week. Thanks for joining me this week.